many of you are familiar with this image. Chickens lined up, side by side, small battery cages, awaiting to be sent to their unfortunate slaughter. I personally avoided viewing images like this one because I didn't want to remind myself that I was contributing to this serious problem by just buying meat at the grocery store. And you might think that I'm here to convince you to stop eating meat, which is certainly not the case, because I do enjoy the occasional chicken sandwich. Besides, you keep doing what you're doing. But I would like you to keep an open mind about this issue, because it is very serious. But just remember that some of the images and terms that I'm using can make you a little uncomfortable, but that's just because I'm trying to expose the whole truth of this issue. There are a few ways that we can help in promoting the proper treatment of the little guys who provide food for us. Millions of farm animals experience mistreatment for nearly their entire life. But even by acknowledging the issue today, there's little hope for them. And our small donation to Farm Sanctuary could really make a difference in a lot of lives. So let us begin with looking into the laws already in place for these guys. Uh-oh. Okay. The Animal Welfare Act, as described by the USDA, is the only federal law at all in the United States that regulates the treatment of animals in research, exhibition, transport, or by dealers. The Animal Defense Fund adds that this act excludes, you guessed it, farm animals. In regards to the actual death of the animals, the Humane Methods of Livestock Slaughter Act, passed in 1958, regulates that livestock be stunned into unconsciousness prior to being slaughtered so that they do not feel the pain. This stunning is usually accomplished by electrocution. This act, unfortunately, does not include any birds, which this is the equipment. I didn't want to include an actual image because I didn't even like them. But but this act does not include any birds, which make up more than 90% of the animals killed for food. Because birds aren't included in this act, there's no law in place regulating that they need to be unconscious prior to being killed. This means that many of the chickens and turkeys killed receive shocks from the electrical water bath before they go unconscious. Unfortunately, there are absolutely no laws governing how the conditions in which the animals on the farms are actually being raised. This is surprising considering how much of the meat we eat actually comes from factory farming. Like me, you are probably wondering, so why not just buy humanely raised organic food meat at the store? Well, these labels can be very deceiving. What do these labels actually mean, though? The Humane Society explains that although some farms declare that other animals are grass-fed and have outdoor access, they are permitted to follow through with painful, like, medical procedures or surgical procedures that are without any pain relief at all. For instance, many cows used for producing milk are subject to painful amputation to up to 2/3 of their tail by either a sharp instrument or by tight rubber bands placed around the base of the tail until the tail detaches. This process is referred to as tail docking by farmers, using it, arguing that it helps improve hygiene, which now the cow does not have a tail to swat away flies, which also can lead to contamination. Cows are also forced to produce a natural amount of milk. Farm Sanctuary tells us that the average cow in 2007 was forced to produce 20,000 pounds of milk. That's double of what was produced by cows 40 years prior to that. That's very unnatural. Not only does this cause extreme pain, but it leads to a certain amount of pus in the milk that is provided. That's disgusting. According to PETA, pigs are typically artificially, oh, that's milk. Pigs are artificially inseminated once they're old enough to give birth, and they are placed in 2-foot wide gestation crates for their entire pregnancy. These crates usually have slotted floors so that they have the lovely opportunity of living above their own weight. Many of these pigs end up dying from infection, although they are pumped with antibiotics for growth. Yummy. So, what can we do to help? Sorry. Well, for starters, we can donate our money to Farm Sanctuary. Founded in 1986, Farm Sanctuary is the nation's largest and most effective farm animal rescue and protection organization, committed to ending the cruelty to farm animals through rescue, education, and advocacy. They have sanctuaries in New York, California, and you can go visit the animals here, which is pretty neat. What have they done to increase animal rights? Well, in 2002, they were the key sponsor in the first ballot initiative to ban gestation crates for animals in Florida. In 2003, Florida Sanctuary won a lawsuit over the USDA for resulting in a new rule preventing slaughter of injured or sick livestock. And in 2012, Farm Sanctuary released what came before, an educational film about 3 animals saved at the sanctuary and where they would have been if it hadn't been for the sanctuary. So let's meet a few of our friends saved from Farm Sanctuary. This is Saffron, and he's a dairy calf saved by Farm Sanctuary by the co-owner, Jean Barr. These are Ted and Leo, 2 starving calves that were rescued from a small dairy farm. They were treated for pneumonia, anemia, and malnourishment. And these are just some of the pictures of the over 100 newborn baby chicks that were found stranded at a post office. And usually hatcheries will send out their old male chicks to just get rid of them because they don't lay eggs, so they're useless to them. So they either kill them or they send them away. These are just some of the animals that Farm Sanctuary has helped. And thanks to them, these animals and many more have a great home. And they have donation options for different people wanting to get involved for legislation and legal actions. And they also have an adopt a pet animal, where you can sponsor one of their animals. And for $70, we can either adopt a goat or sheep for 4 months, 7 chickens for 1 month, or 1 cow for 3 months. And I think that's doing a lot of difference. For those of you still unsure, imagine if your cat or dog was in this similar situation. As humans, we kind of disregard the emotional range of animals, and there's no evidence declaring that dogs or cats are smarter or less tasty or more emotional than these farm animals. So why are we taking care of so many other animals and neglecting all of the ones raised on farms? Is it because they're not as cute or soft? Because look at those faces. Look at that face. Isn't that cute? I don't have any time at all left, folks, but I just would like to add that all these animals have found a lovely home at Farm Sanctuary, and many more can too with your help. Too many problems for this time restraint. There are too many problems in the world.